In this video, we're going to be talking about the Thomas Nelson New King James Premier Collection Edition, the large print, thin line reference. Stay tuned. Hey, and welcome back. I was really excited to get to talk to the Thomas Nelson team when I was in Nashville, and one of my favorite Bibles that they produced in the first generation of the Premier Collection editions was the large print thin line reference Bible. Not often do I get to see Bibles that are just so vastly improved from previous editions, so I'm really thankful to get to review this Bible. So I was really excited to see what they did with the second generation. So let's take a look at it. So this Bible comes in this beautiful box. On the back, it has a list of the features and the ISBN. And this is a sturdy box, so you have no fear of damage when it's being stored. So the cover of this Bible has been so vastly and drastically improved. It's just stunning when you compare the first edition, first generation, to this edition. You have the raised ribs on the spine. Really beautifully done. It feels great in the hand. This goatskin that was used is such a nice, firm grain. It's very, very similar to the natural grain goatskin used by Youngblood. And this Bible is printed and bound in China, produced all in China, so you know that you can produce exquisite editions with the right materials and oversight and quality control. This edition also has a perimeter stitching that goes around the outside of the cover. And in the hand, this Bible just feels higher quality. It smells better, it feels better, and it just wants to be read. It begs to be read. As we open it up, you can see this liner has been vastly improved. So not only is the outer cover leather, but the inner cover leather as well is better than the first generation. And the source of strength for these Bibles, the bindings of these Bibles, is the liner. It's not the cover leather, it's the liner leather and the construction techniques. And I'm going to show you a few other construction techniques that were added that make this Bible superior to the previous generation. You have the gold gilt line on the interior of the cover and goatskin leather cover imprinted on the front liner. Here you see the edge line tab on the side of the block and your end sheet, which matches the color of the liner. You have a little partial sheet, and then you get to your presentation page. You have your first title page and your second title page. Now you come to your publication page where you can see the title, the New King James Version Thin Line Reference Bible, large print. It's printed and bound in China, 2019, and this is the 2K Denmark comfort print font for the New King James. You have your table of contents and your preface, and then it gets into the text. Now this text is exquisite. I love this paper. This is a 36 GSM European Bible paper. The text is laid out in a double column paragraph format, and it's an 11-point font, and you see the dual color printing throughout. You have the book name in red, your chapter numbers in red, as well as your section headings in red. You can also see your list of references at the bottom portion of the page. It's very similar of the Scholar Quintel. Awesome layout, awesome cover. It's thinner than the Quintel, lighter than the Quintel, so it's really nice. And on these new Premier Collection editions, I always want to show this. In Genesis 24 page, you can see this is the center of this signature. And since it's the first signature, as well as the last signature, this happens as well. You can see this stitch line that goes down through the gutter. This is called overcast stitching. And this actually stitches or tethers this signature to the tab that's on this edgeline tab. So that's an added layer of security. This is a measure that you don't see done much anymore. And previous editions of premium Bibles, you would find overcast stitching, and I'm so thankful that they're doing this now. You can also see the stitching loops for the signature itself, so you have that extra security being Smith sewn. So as we flip through, you can just see this beautiful paper. This 11-point font is just so beautiful on the page. This is truly a premium Bible. The previous generation, the first generation of the Premier Collection editions, you could have called semi-premium. The cover was just not what you would want if you were like truly buying a premium Bible. The paper was great, but you didn't have double-sided satin ribbons. This edition does. It has double-sided satin ribbons, the beautiful 36 GSM paper, the cover, the improved liner, the overcast stitching. This is truly, truly a premium Bible. Now, these editions did go up in price because they're so much improved from the first generation of the Premier Collection. This Bible lists at $190, but it's worth this. This is a pretty good indication of value here. This retail going up to $190 is accurate. And when we compare the retail of $190 for this Premier Collection edition to the retail of $249 of the Crossway Omega, this Bible is superior in every way to the Omega. This is a much better Bible, much more accurate retail value. The more I read from this Bible and turn through this Bible, the more I favor it as opposed to the Quintel. And that's saying something, because the Quintel, the New King James Quintel, was previously my favorite New King James Bible in production. And this is kind of better to me. So at the end of the text, you come to the Concordance. The Concordance has a triple column layout, and each area of the alphabet will have a red highlight. So in the A's, it'll start with a red A, and so on and so forth. So the words in the Concordance are going to be in all caps, and the words underneath, the references underneath, are going to be in just lowercase formation. And at the top, you can see the word that starts this section and the page number. And on the other side, you can see the last word and page number of this section. And at the end of the Concordance, we come to a note regarding the type. I really so want this section to be added to the publication page or a special page beside the publication page. This needs to be in the front of the Bible. I love this section here to learn about the cover print font. Then we have the Bible maps on glossy cardstock. Good maps. I'm not a fan of glossy cardstock. That's no secret. But they're nice nonetheless. Then before the end sheet, you can see this nice matte cardstock. I'd love for the Bible maps to be printed on this material, this dense matte cardstock. But maybe next generation. All right, and then we come to the end sheet and the back liner. You also have the ISBN number imprinted on this back liner. And seeing this brings me to my next little segment of possible improvements for the next generation. Now, this second generation Premier Collection edition of the large print Thinline reference is absolutely superior in every way to its predecessor. And it's also superior to almost all the other Bibles on the market these days. But there are some things that we could talk about that would be improvements on this. So one would be removing this stamping on the back liner. Take it off. Take it away. Why is this even on here? Put the ISBN number on the publication page and let that be it. This stamping takes away from the beauty of this liner. Also, I'd love to see lined paper in the back of this edition. I'd love to see a portion of lined paper, 30, 40 pages, as well as, of course, putting the Bible maps on either matte cardstock or that like a thicker Bible paper. And that's really all I can think of that would make this edition better. This edition is absolutely beautiful and such a joy to read from. It has such a great, I'll show you the hand test here. It's a floppy, but you can also tell, you see it's kind of supported. It has some support that shows you that this liner is a much higher quality liner than the previous edition. The first generation was so floppy because the liner was so light and really not as supportive as this liner is. So that's the Bible. It's amazing. You will not be disappointed by it, I promise. I'll have a link to this Bible in the description. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And as always, God bless.